stadium lights, with 3 beer buzz before halftime. My heart racing like it's 4th and 5 on a Midwest Saturday night.
Welcome to Mizzou Storytellers. I'm Dave Matter from Mizzou Athletics.
I'm Loretta Jones, also from Mizzou Athletics.
That's right. Boy, do we have a good guest today.
I am patting myself on the back for this one.
This is all you.
I'm pretty excited.
This is all you.
Pretty excited. Somebody I have gotten to know outside of work, too, through his family. So I was really excited when he agreed.
I'm still kind of surprised that he agreed, and hopefully he still walks in that door and sits down and spends some time with us.
I just kept waiting for the text. Actually, I don't think I'm going to do it. And I was like, so I just kept being like, hey, I'm going to meet you at this time. Hey, we're gonna see you here, right?
So it's not Coach Drinkwitz.
No.
But it's about as close as you can get.
Yeah, it's Coach Drinkwitz adjacent.
Yes, yes. And it's not Lindsay Drinkwitz.
No.
But work-wise, it's as close as it
we
gets,
can get, yeah.
which is pretty great.
So I'm pretty pumped to have him on the podcast today.
Speaking of the podcast, do you know that our podcast is brought to you by Shelter Insurance, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power. 7 out of the last 8 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Amazing.
That's pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very natural. Just came right out.
One of your best.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
right.
should we just speaking of one of our best guests, hopefully.
Yes. Let's bring him in.
Okay.
He's a tiger. He's a dad. He's an outdoorsman. He's a problem solver. He's a card shark. He's Mizzou's Assistant Director of Athletics and Football Chief of Staff. He's Andy Lutz, and he's today's guest on Mizzou Storytellers.
Appreciate you having me.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Historic Hearns.
Yeah, first time over to this place. It's neat.
The podcast comes with a tour of the building,
That's
apparently.
right. I'm glad I decided to do this.
Or at least this floor.
An explanation. I mean, this floor was the only one that really mattered for years and years. This is where everybody was.
People had it. This was an office for a lot of people who have come and gone. The Mizzou Athletics. And now it's our state-of-the-art podcast, as you can see, studio.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely.
Is this your inaugural podcast?
This is.
Feel so honored.
We've been doing this for a couple of years, and I think of the people we've had on here from the department, maybe Andy might be the least likely to come on when we tell people I didn't even want to tell many people.
Yeah, I was scared. I was scared that he was going to back out.
I've been asked a few times, but this is the first time.
There you go.
Because of you, Loretta.
Yeah, I know. That was the key. I made her ask.
That's right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, Andy, I think what we like to do here is just kind of tell our guest story from as early on as when you get involved in athletics and what led you to Mizzou and all the stops in between. You've had your share of stops, and you play. I'm really fascinated by your role because you do so many things and play such an important role, but it's kind of that behind the scenes part, and maybe the average fan doesn't always understand what a director of ops or a chief of staff does. They see the head coach, they see the assistant coaches, but we'd love to learn more about your role and how you got here in this position.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, we can take it way back.
Fire away.
What I think is I never would have guessed that you are a West Coaster. You're a Californian.
California.
Lodi?
Born and raised in Lodi, California.
I found out that's the wine grape capital of the world.
It is. That's what my family does or did. We still have the ranch, but we lease it out. But I grew up on a grape and cherry farm, and that's what I grew up doing, and it's where I learned my work ethic and getting up early and all that type of stuff.
So just harvesting grapes and playing football?
Yep, that's it.
Was there ever a point where you thought that would be like what you did for a living?
Yes.
Take it over?
I always had that intention of doing that. And then once I made the bad decision of getting into coaching, that faded away, and then my career path has kind of taken me on a wild ride.
Yeah. Was it always football? Was that the first love, and then that became your sport?
Yeah, football, and then, used to love baseball, but then, once I got into the junior college level, it was just football moving forward from there.
And then from the JUCO, you went to University of Pacific.
From the JUCO, I went to the University of Pacific, and then my first spring there, I got hurt. I cracked a vertebrae in my neck and couldn't play anymore. And Walt Harris was the head coach, and he asked if I wanted to get into coaching and be a student assistant, and I jumped in it, and I am where I am now.
I mean, and you've got one of those, like, if we were to put up a map of just, like, then the path that you took from there, there would be push pins everywhere.
Oh, yeah. So I've been fortunate. I've been in some really good places that, started at Pacific and then went to Nevada, Reno, for one season, and then went to Ole Miss for 4, and then Auburn for 10, and then sat out a year, and then was at Texas Tech for 3, Georgia Tech for 6, and then got hooked up with Eli. Went to App for a year, and then heading into year 7 now at Mizzou.
Yeah. At what point, how and when did it go from not coaching? I'm going to be more on the football administrative side. How'd you get into
So
that?
I was at Ole Miss, so that would have been 96, 97. That was the second year. That's when the whole off-the-field stuff started, right? The recruiting people, the personnel people. That's when all that was the ground stages of that. So I was working for Tommy Tuberville, Senator Tuberville at the time, and he was talking to some people about, hey, I want to start a recruiting role. I'm going to move somebody off the field because I've been a GA for, 3-4 years, and I was ready to move on.
How many master's degrees do you have?
Just one. And he created a recruiting role as more recruiting operations, all that stuff. So he put me in it. So I wanted to get out of a GA role, become full-time, and get all the benefits and all the stuff that comes with being full-time and the salary and all that. So that's how I stepped into the recruiting and the recruiting ops and all that stuff. That's where it started.
Do you miss coaching? Do you ever wish you could be back?
You know what? I don't.
Being a coordinator?
I really enjoy what I do from the organizational aspect of the operations role, and just kind of built a niche for myself and took the ball and ran with it, and I'm here where I'm at now.
Yeah. So you're with Coach Tuberville at Ole Miss, and then he went to Texas Tech for a few years. So that was you went with him.
I was with Coach Tuberville for 17 years.
Wow.
So 4 seasons at Ole Miss, 10 at Auburn.
Auburn too. Yeah.
Then sat out, and then we were together 3 years at Texas Tech. Then he took the Cincinnati job, and I told myself I would never live in the Midwest ever. So I went to Georgia Tech, and then had a great 6-year run there, and then got hooked up with Coach, and here I am in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Man. And then Cincinnati's like the far edges of the Midwest.
I know.
Now you're about dead center.
Regret what I said.
Do you ever miss California? Did you ever
No.
Did you ever look for a job to go back that way?
No, I do. I don't miss it. My father passed about 2.5 years ago, so my mom came to a game last year, and when she left, she went home, called me and Brandy up and said, "Hey, I want to ask you something." I said, "Well, what's that?" She said, "I want to move to Columbia." And we're like, "Well, yeah, that's great." She said, "Good. I've already sold my house and bought a house in Old Hawthorne." She had everything done before she told us.
Oh wow!
So she moved out here last January, and so it's been good. So no, I don't. I still have some family back there.
Yeah.
But my mom's here, and
Once you left, you were ready to be gone.
and I was out. Yeah, I'm not going back to that. I'm not going back to California.
Yeah. How did you get connected with Coach at App State? Because you didn't cross over at Auburn.
No. So when I was at Georgia Tech, I was working with Ted Roof. He was our defensive coordinator at the time.
Yeah.
Ted left, went to NC State, and then when Eli got the job at App, he hired Ted as a defensive coordinator.
Right.
Coach tried to hire about 7 or 8 ops people. Everybody turned him down. and Ted finally told him, he said, "Hey, I got a guy that I think that you'd fit well with." And Ted got us hooked up.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Hey, it's all it takes.
It doesn't matter, man.
All it takes.
Doesn't matter.
You're number 1 now.
That's right.
And if I remember right, I think you were maybe one of the first people Mizzou announced coming over with Coach, or one of the
I was
first.
with him. I mean,
Was that a pretty easy decision on your part, as long as he wanted you?
It
come
was.
along?
So we played that championship game, won the championship game, and I was going to Virginia Tech to interview for the ops job with Coach Fuentes.
Yeah.
So he told me, he said, "Don't sign anything." So I left on Sunday, went, interviewed, took the job, but didn't sign anything. And then on the way back, he said, "Hey, we're going to Missouri. You want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to Missouri."
Awesome.
So I had to call Fuentes back and tell him I was going with Coach to Missouri. So
Yeah.
And one of the, we talked with Coach Hill about this too. One of my questions is, where along in your journey did Brandy enter the picture? Like, where did you start having to consider somebody other than yourself as you're bouncing from job to job?
So we were at obviously Auburn. She's from Auburn, born and raised there. So in 2007, I think 2006, somebody set us up on a blind date, and we've been together ever since. So we ended up getting married. We got fired after the 2008 season, and we ended up getting married that summer. And her dad was thinking, "I can't believe you're marrying a guy that doesn't even have a job." And then a few months later, I grabbed her and we moved out to Lubbock, Texas. And so it's been a great ride. She's a great woman, great wife, great mom, great everything. So
Yeah, and then you got and then Aberley.
And then Aberley came along when we were in Lubbock. She's a natural born Texan.
She's fun. She's a funny kid. I like her a lot.
So Andy, tell us exactly, and you have a lot of roles, but how do you describe your job to somebody who may just be a casual fan of college football and not know the intricacies of what a director of ops or chief of staff does?
One would be always make sure that everybody else has what they need to be successful, right? So we got to make sure the strength coach, Coach Russell, has everything he needs. Zach's got everything he needs in the training room. Liz has everything nutritionally. Because if those people aren't performing at a high level, the team's not going to perform at a high level.
Yeah.
Then when Mitch and I, we make sure, the coach, all the coaches, everybody has exactly what they need to be successful. Mitch, on his side of it, he makes sure the players have everything that they need to be successful. And then myself, I kind of oversee a little bit of everything from academics to compliance, assist with recruiting wherever they need operational support, or mainly 90% of the time money. They need money.
Yeah.
All the travel, just all the day-to-day stuff for coach. Make sure everybody's upholding what coach's standards are and all that stuff. So just a little bit of everything.
There's a lot of moving parts.
And then administration, working with Marcy and y'all and president's office and curators and whatever they need and all that stuff. So
yeah.
I think one of the best ways we ever described you was as a gatekeeper. Like you're kind of like the Coach Drinkwitz gatekeeper.
Yeah.
How difficult is that job?
Some days are worse than others, but we're fortunate. We have a really good group of guys that are very self-sustainable. And Coach, obviously, Coach is the head coach. He's the GM. He's the COO. Coach oversees every single aspect of it, and so that part for me is easy. But he gives me my marching orders, and he tells me what he wants done, and I just get it done.
That's awesome.
How do you think that's evolved from your first days working with him to now? And we can get into like coach's tenure is really rare in the SEC right now because of the industry and how much turnover there is. But you guys have worked together. This is your 7th year, I guess, together. Yeah. How more efficient maybe are things now because you know each other and you know how his brain works?
I think there's a lot of that. Like I got the spring the lifting schedule done, with Coach Russell, because Coach Russell and I know him so well. We have everything done from January all the way through fall camp. Wow. We already got spring practice planned. We got everything. Everything's done because we know exactly what he's going to do. He's a good curveball thrower. He likes to throw curveballs just to keep us all guessing. But pretty much know his thinking patterns and what he's going to want. Me and Mitch and Russ and all of us, we try to make sure we head things off before he even asks it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're fortunate that way. So for him though, when I first got with him, he was ball. He was offense coordinator, and he didn't even think about anything else. Didn't even worry about anything else. Then now with the whole, the NIL and the whole involvement of everything and what we walked into here and what he had to do to get this place from where it was when we got here through COVID, through everything else, he's really shifted gears from being the whole CEO of the whole entire organization.
One thing that really impresses me about Coach is being out on the sideline during a game. His bandwidth, he can process so much that goes on.
Oh my gosh,
he's aware of what's on the video board, and that I know
he
you
is.
are.
Yes, he is.
And then often it gets relayed to me, and then up to Josh or Marcy or whoever. But he can process a lot. What's that like to keep up with?
He's like that, and he's like that 24. He's like that in the office. He's like that everywhere he's at.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant person, but you just kind of learn his how he operates and we kind of know what he's thinking, you know.
Yeah.
Because I can see things and I know exactly what's coming. So I try to head it off before he even gets to me on it.
Yeah,
you
with
know?
like a really nice, like, hey guys, here's something I noticed
Yeah.
text.
A nice calm demeanor, you know.
Real calm.
Absolutely. What is your game day like? Because if someone didn't know better, they would kind of think you're a coach because you're right there on the sideline. You're in the middle of it all.
For us, game day for Mitch and I is just all the logistical stuff. So from number one, hoping the buses show up on time, show up to the right place, you know, getting all the kids out of the hotels, getting them to their meetings, getting them to the meals, getting their bags out of their rooms. Then I have, like, as soon as I get to the stadium, I have to do the NCAA meeting that we do to go over all the NCAA SEC stuff that we got to go through. Just making sure the timing from all the pregame warm-up, because people just don't go on the field anytime they want and
Right.
warm up. It's all scheduled, and, you know, get them back in the locker room. All the coaches do their final talks, and coach does his final talk, and then we get them on the field. And then if it's an away game, the biggest thing that we sit and worry about is where's our plane.
Yeah.
You know, when's our plane? Is our plane picking up another team, or did our plane stay with us? So that's always pins and needles until we know the actual plane's in place, ready to go. Like when we left the Arkansas game, we're pulling up to the gate, and there's the plane come pulling in, because you know that game was at night.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was hard for them to completely change the whole flight schedule to get it to where we wanted it. So that was we were watching that the whole entire time on the sideline,
Yeah.
Man.
where the plane was. But it's just all the logistical stuff to make sure whenever the game's over or whatever we're doing, we can get to the next point and what
Yeah.
we got to get done.
Yeah. At what point on a game day, win or lose, do you get to, like, take a breath? Like, when do you feel like, all right, the day's over?
When the buses get back to the stadium, or whenever I get in my truck to head to the house.
Yeah.
Because I go in my house, and wife and daughter, they get pissed when we lose.
Yeah.
But my dogs don't care, so I can just go hang out with my dogs and unwind and find something good to watch on TV, because I really don't watch a lot of football.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to watch football, but after a game, when I get home, I'm not going to go home
Because
and
you've
sit and watch
lived it
football.
so
Right.
intensely for
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
get
heard that on your off days you like to cook.
I do.
I heard that you probably have
do.
meals planned out for like the next month.
I could do, yes, I can. I mean, I love boiling crawfish and shrimp, and I love getting on the smoker, doing ribs and briskets and butts and everything. I'll do it all.
I love
I
that.
enjoy it.
We're big fans of smoking food
Oh,
on
yeah?
this podcast. We talk about this. We have a good friend who he has a smoker. He smokes cheese and chocolate.
I haven't gone to that point yet.
Sticking to
got
the
that one.
proteins.
Yeah.
over
That's
here.
right.
So, you know, you talk about all these different curveballs that can be thrown your way, and, like, you know, getting over all these little hitches and plans. What's, if you could pick like a controlled chaos moment from your career that you can laugh about now? Like something that happened that was probably just like super crazy, traumatic in the time, and now you're like, man, I can't believe I flipped out over that.
There's been a lot of instances. One would have been probably at Pacific when we went and played. I was a student assistant, but I also worked in the kind of the helping with the travel and all that stuff. We played at Hawaii, and then we flew back that night back into San Francisco, and we all walked out, and there was no buses.
Oh, gosh.
So we were fortunate enough, somehow one of the guys that was doing the operation stuff that I kind of worked under and learned a lot from, he flagged down a bus that was going through the San Francisco airport, got the guy to open his door. He talked to the guy for about 2 minutes, and within 30 minutes, there was like 4 buses that came and picked us up.
Oh, wow.
So it was the luck of the draw. It was the luck of the draw that he hit the right person that had a bus company that he could call to get buses there. So that's kind of when I learned that no matter how bad the situation is,
Yeah.
always ask. There's no harm in asking
No.
anything, because you never know. And there's a lot of times, like, you know, Mitch and I'll we'll get into a few predicaments here and there. And but most of the time, all the groups that we work with, they've seen the same scenarios.
Yeah.
You know, so they're able to help get you out of things, and so that was probably my first big one, and learn that you can't panic. You just got to work the situation and get out of the problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're kind of the linchpin of that staff. I mean, you talked about that you make sure that everybody has what they need.
Yeah.
You know, how do you maintain that sense of organization in the office, that kind of sense of, or like organized chaos, I guess. Yeah, like this calm to make sure that people know that problems will get solved. Like, what is that like to build that culture into that mindset that like we'll get it done?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, a lot of it is the people that you have right around you. One, coach doesn't panic. Like when in a situation like that, he panics in other things. But when it's the operations, when it's something like that, when he knows that it's completely out of our control, and we're just hoping that things work out. Like the plane was late going to Oklahoma; it was 2 hours late because something got, you know. So we just adjust things around. Coach never panics. He's just like figure it out and make sure it's dialed in.
Yeah, that's great.
And so, you know, one is the people, and then obviously Mitch. Mitch is extremely detailed in all the stuff that he does for the program. And then we have Sloan. Sloan does a really good job assisting both Mitch and I with all the stuff that we need. So to me, the whole thing of it is having the right people in place to work scenarios, not to panic, and just deal with the problem and then get us out of it.
How involved are you in the hiring of those people? Are they all coach decides, or when you guys have gaps to fill?
Coach decides. Coach, anybody that's hired within his organization, coach obviously makes that call. But if it's something like it's in my realm or whatever, I'll have a lot of input in that.
Yeah.
You know, because I was able to find Mitch. I had a bunch of people call me about Mitch, and I went to coach and just did some other background check. And I was like, "This is the guy we need." He's like,
so
"All right,
great.
I'll interview him." And Mitch obviously did a great job, and we ended up hiring him.
Yeah.
So, but coach will have the final say on anybody in the organization. But people within your own groups, you'll have a say.
Yeah.
Andy, we're getting close to bowl season. I think by the time this comes out, we'll probably know what bowl we're in. But the logistics, the planning for that, is that just like is it a road game, but like on steroids because it's bigger?
It is.
More family are going. And
It is.
It's a little bit longer stay.
More extracurricular events.
It is. But I mean, it's all the bowls are cookie cutter.
Yeah.
So to speak, right?
Yeah.
So, like going to the Texas Bowl or going to the Gator Bowl, whichever one we go to, it's no different than us going to the Music City Bowl or the Cotton Bowl. It's all the same, right? So everybody knows exactly. You know, Mitch knows that he's in charge of all the player travel, player hotel, all that stuff. I know all the stuff that I do. Marcy knows all the stuff that she does. All the stuff that you did.
Yeah.
You know, for the Cotton Bowl and all that stuff. So it's a bigger load, but it's the same load that we do every week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we've done it all of us have done it so often. It's really no different to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I already have like the rooming list done, the bus list done, going to the game from the airport, all that stuff's already.
Well, that's what I was going to
We
ask.
have
Like,
it all done.
for both of those scenarios, do you have like the hotel set? Like, you know what time the flights
All
would
of that's
leave?
done.
Like, you know all of those things
All
now.
that's done. I don't have the itinerary dialed in yet because I got it. Coach and I'll do that on Sunday. But by Sunday night, Monday morning, we'll have the itinerary
Be
for
ready
the
to
whole
go.
trip done. Yep. Yep.
Excuse me.
You've been a part of some pretty like really cool seasons at different places. I mean, Auburn had an undefeated season.
Yeah,
We were there,
2004.
and Georgia Tech had some great years under Coach Johnson. Like
Yep.
App State's the one season you were there,
Yep.
pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Where do you take the most enjoyment from? Everybody wants to win, but you're also trying to get everything in order to make things as smooth as possible. When do you get to really take enjoyment from the winning and the highs?
You know, like the 2004 season when we went undefeated at Auburn and we went to go into the Sugar Bowl and beat Virginia Tech. There's so much that goes into that because the pressure builds every week, and you really can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know. And then I would say, like once you're walking off that field, like at the bowl game, that's when you can really somewhat let your, you can relax, let your guard down a little bit. You still got to get everybody home, and you got to do all that stuff. But the actual enjoyment of an undefeated season or a championship season, basically, like once that bowl game's over, then you can kind of enjoy it, because you really don't. There's so much pressure from, the pressure you put on yourself, the pressure on the kids, and all the outside from the fans, and you need to, everything that you need to do. It never goes away until that game's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you what is your social media footprint? Are you able to kind of black out everything that's happening, or do you have to stay dialed in because of your job?
As my podcast career, my social media career is about the same. I'm not a big social media guy.
And block out that noise. How do Brandy and Aberly help keep you grounded at home? Like get through like the ups and downs of the wins and the losses?
Well, first Aberly will tell me why we lost. So once we get all that stuff done, no, I mean they're great. I mean they're just, they're no different than anybody else. They're wanting to know what bowl games we're going to and all this and that. But just to have our family time, and because Aberly loves to watch football too, and Brandy does too. But they know, like, when I get home from a game, if there's a great movie on that they know I like, we're turning that movie on. Yeah. And then we'll all sit there as a family and watch TV and just talk and all that. Yeah. So they love it. They're into it as much as, or obviously more than a fan is, but they know how to step away and
that's great.
Kind of ease the tension too.
It can be tough to find that balance.
It's hard.
To turn that off. That I'm in family mode now. I'm not in work mode.
Because like I can tell, like when we come home, like if we have a tough loss or something, it bothers her. It bothers Aberly. So I got to cheer her up and and tell her it's going to be all right. And
she posted, how many was that, 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
She and was it Addie?
It was Addison and Emerson. Yeah, they did a deal.
They did a post on social media. They did a little video about you're a coach's daughter when
these are Coach Drink's daughters.
It was Coach Drink's daughters, and that was so funny to me. It was these things like you're a coach's daughter when it's like
you're sitting in a hotel room on Christmas,
right? Yeah, It was. I thought that was so cute, and I love that she and the Drinkwitz girls, like they've just embodied it. Like this is their life, this is their lifestyle, and this is the way things are. Because I think it would be easy as a kid to kind of resent that. That dad's never home, and life revolves around football. So I love that you've been able to help mold that in your home too. Oh yeah, is find a love for it instead of resentment.
You got to have the family's got to understand what you do. And I think we're fortunate. A lot of everybody in our group, the families, they understand what it takes, and it's like that's why Coach has family dinners on Sunday nights, so all of our families are with us on Sunday nights and
I love that.
Upstairs, and so it's good.
That's what's cool about the bowl game too, because they all get to go and be part of it too. Yeah, where maybe on a regular road game that's not always possible.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the program a little bit before we wind down. A lot of coaching turnover in this league, obviously. I saw a stat the other day. Coach is second in longevity in the SEC, which is pretty wild. Says a lot about the industry. Yeah. But the stability, the continuity we have here right now, just how rare is it, and then just how valuable is that to have?
Yeah, valuable because you have, people talk about coach wanting to make a decision to leave, or coach is going to do this, coach is going to do that. People don't understand, like, if you look at our staff, right, from everybody from top to bottom, it's like 60-something, right, full-time employees. Mm-hmm. And then you got to figure, like, 60% of those have wives. And then you got to figure in total, because of the bowl game, I know it's like 48 children.
Wow.
Right? So it's not just coach making a decision on, hey, I want to take a better job. He's making a decision that's going to affect hundreds of people that work with him every single day.
Yeah.
So for him to be able to stay at a place this long and be able to take care of the staff and the families like he does is huge in this business. Yeah. You don't see that very often.
Right.
And then just the longevity. It's crazy because you hear about all these ADs talking to all these new guys trying to hire these coaches. It's like, well, you know, if you don't get us to the playoff in a year or so, I mean, we're going to be looking for another coach, you know. So
Wow.
you got to look at your administration too, and the support that you have with, you know, with Laird and Moon and the curators, and you know, it's a very unique situation that coach has, and it's a very strong, you know, support system that he's got.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a great situation for him to be at.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially look across the league. I mean, half the league they're figuring out who's going to be on their staff, and you've already got spring practices and fall camp
Oh, I
mapped
know.
out. I mean,
I know.
you know, what an advantage. You know, just logistically to have
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you know, mapped out.
Well, and I'm glad that you mentioned that because I think that's something that a lot of fans don't know or don't even think about is that those decisions aren't made in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many other factors. They think that coaches are making these selfish decisions for them
Yeah.
and what's best for them. And, you know, it's across the board. And I think that's also why you see a lot of coaches will bring staff with them wherever they go.
Yeah.
You know, they try to plan that out. Like, is this something that'll work for me and most of the people that I would take with
Yeah.
me?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, so I'm glad that you said that because I think that's something that gets lost a lot in the, you know, talking about like the social media,
Yeah.
you know, chatter.
Yeah.
That's why losses hurt too, because coaches aren't thinking about just themselves necessarily.
yeah.
They're thinking about how it impacts their receivers' coach's family or their, you know, their tight ends coach's family and all those things too.
There's a lot to it.
All right, rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Okay, 5 quick questions. You don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about these.
Okay.
I'm going to do odds.
Go for it.
Okay. Your favorite meal in Columbia? Like not necessarily a restaurant, but like a meal that you would get somewhere.
Mad Cow,
Like what do you get? Just a.
the double bacon cheeseburger and fries.
All right.
All right,
I like Mad
that's
Cow.
a new one. Best advice you've ever been given?
Treat people with respect.
Good
I
one.
like that. As I mentioned earlier, you're kind of a card shark. Heard that you and Aberley are a little competitive. You may or may not have a running tally of how many times you've beaten each other in cards. What's your favorite card game?
Kings in the Corner.
I don't know that one.
She whooped me last week, 4 straight, and it's really bothering me. So we're going to get this corrected probably tomorrow night.
There you go. That's good. Okay, what's your perfect day off agenda?
Cooking breakfast for my family, and then either going hunting or fishing, and cooking something at night.
Wow, that sounds good.
That sounds awesome. Can I come be part of that family that you just cook for? All right. What is your favorite Mizzou memory?
At this point right now, probably winning the Cotton Bowl was
That was pretty awesome.
was a huge accomplishment from where we started to get to that point.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, when you go into a season and maybe anyone outside of the building doesn't know what to expect or maybe doesn't have, you know, highest expectations, and then to have a season like that and to end it like that, man, that was pretty special.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah. All right, you passed the test.
Yep.
Well,
There you go.
appreciate it.
All right, here's the final step. You got to add your picture to the board.
Be careful. It's
This thing is very delicate. Created a spot right there.
Can I stick it over the top of somebody?
You can you can put it wherever you want. Just be careful.
Put it over
will.
Dave.
It's very flimsy. There you go.
Right there.
Good spot.
I was going to stick it over Karofsky, but I figured
Oh,
I need some nice bold
There you
coming,
go.
so I don't wanna do
yeah,
that to
exactly. Wait about 2 weeks for that.
Yeah, make sure the families get some good gear, and then we'll
That's
come back.
right.
We'll move.
All right. So here's the only thing we ask of you now. There's only 2 coaches that have not sat in that seat and been on this podcast. Since you had such a great experience here, you have to relay how great this experience was to the head coach so he can come in one day.
Yeah.
Is there job security tied to that?
Yeah. And apparently I do
Deep
a really
appreciation.
Great, yes, I do a great job of asking, so maybe I should do it. You know.
I'll see what I can pull off.
Okay. All
right.
right. Hey, that's good enough. I will take that. I will take that.
No, but
that's
thank
great.
you so much for coming in,
I appreciate y'all having me.
telling us about your
This
story.
was fun. Yeah, I wanted to learn more, and then I'm sure our fans want to learn more just about the ins and outs and what it's like, and then just exactly what you do and everything you bring to the program.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Good
All
luck at whatever bowl we end up at.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Andy.
All right.
This episode of Mizzou Storytellers on the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast is brought to you by Shelter Insurance. Ranked number 1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power 5 out of the last 6 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Andy Lutz.
What a guy.
Man, that was great. Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
I never would have thought he'd agree to do a podcast.
That is how amazing I am. So I don't know if you know this.
Producer Steve, before
That was a
we
good
told
guess.
you who our guest was going to be, I jokingly texted. We were coming up with some ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of sarcastically suggested Andy because I just didn't think it would be something he'd want to do. And Loretta's like, "I'll call him and ask."
And he said, I'll get you a raise if you can do that. And so
If he
then-
says yes, not
Yeah.
just if she can ask.
And so I called him back, and I was in St. Louis for meetings, and I called him and I said, hey, so are you going to write me a personal check or just tell Laird that he needs to give me more money?
Yeah, I don't know if I can fulfill that part of the bet.
Writing checks that you can't cash.
Well, hey, he was great. He's going to be.
Yes.
My prediction is he's going to be so. This is going to be so well received. He's going to be very popular on the podcast circuit going out.
I bet.
I bet he does the other top 6 podcasts in Columbia now.
You know what? I bet he won't.
I bet he won't
I bet
either.
he won't.
Now, if he can reel in his boss,
That would be amazing.
that would be great.
Andy was great. It's cool to get that insight from.
I don't think people understand.
Yeah.
I think people in general are like, yeah, I'm sure a lot of stuff happens behind the scenes. He literally has a hand in every
Oh, yeah.
single area of the football department.
Mm-hmm.
When people say behind the scenes, like that's it.
Yep.
That is him.
Andy is it. Like
Yeah.
he's-
And I think you do have.
Touches everything.
Yeah, you have to have like kind of a peek behind the scenes to appreciate it too, because when you're just when you're a fan or media or whatever it may be, you see the production, but you don't see all the moving pieces behind the scenes that had it all
And
orchestrated.
he is moving all of those
Yes.
pieces. Like he is
Yeah.
making sure that they are in place and everything's happening.
Yeah, nothing happens by accident. I mean, sometimes things do, but usually you're aware of why and when and how, and that's
And
his
like
job.
crazy. I mean, even like he said, having the buses. I mean, that was a crazy story. But then after we stopped recording, producer Steve was telling us a crazy story from when he was in college.
Yes, regale us with your story.
Please share that with our
So,
fans.
It popped in my head, talking about operational disasters that can happen on a road trip. So I think I was like a sophomore in college at Western Illinois University, and to give people credit, that was like the time when like there was like AstroTurf, and then there's other turf, and then other schools got field turf. So
Yeah.
it was like that kind of weird. Don't know what you get. And we were going to play Toledo, and we get there for like the Friday night walkthrough, and all the coaches are like freaking out because it wasn't field turf. It was like the old turf.
Oh no!
You can't play on cleats. Like you can't have cleats, and nobody packed the turf shoes. And so I'm like a sophomore in college or something, and I wasn't playing much at all. Not
What
that
year was
not that I
this?
ever did.
What-
It's kind of been like 2004.
Okay, so Coach Binkle wasn't there anymore. He was here. He was here. Okay.
No. Yeah. And so it's like the walkthrough, and like here comes my head coach with like all the other coaches, and they're looking at me and they're walking right at me, and I'm like, what did I do? And his name's Don Patterson, and he goes, Steve, are your folks by chance coming to the game tomorrow? And I was like, I don't think they planned on it, but I mean, what's up? He
Because
goes,
they live in Macomb, right?
yeah, they live in Macomb, so I went to school in my hometown, and Don Patterson, he was like, do you think he might be able to swing by the equipment room and pick up the turf shoes and come? And I was like, yeah, he would love to do that.
How many pairs of shoes are we talking
I
about?
mean, we had, I don't know, you travel, whatever the travel number is, and you got to have spares. It's probably like 200 pairs of shoes, I would guess. And so my dad at like 4 a.m. went to the locker room, met with somebody there, loaded up our family minivan that we went to like family vacations into growing up and stuff. He drives by himself all the way from Macomb, Illinois to Toledo, Ohio.
Oh.
I was going to ask, how far is that?
I don't know. I mean, Google it, I guess. I don't know. It's got to be, it was probably like 8 hours, I got to guess.
Jeez.
He makes it there in time to meet us at the hotel. Like he got there, I think 20, 30 minutes before we actually loaded on the bus to go to the game to get ready and stuff. And like he's there, he's got a big old grin on his face. Shout out Chuck Sowers. And and because he was there and like he got there, you know, it was so close. He's there giving us our shoes, and then it's time to go to the game. We're all on these buses going to the game with the police escort. And the coaches are like, you might as well come with us. So there was 3 buses. There was 2 buses. I'm sorry. There was 1 bus, the Sowers minivan, and the other bus, police escort to Toledo. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite stories. I haven't thought, and I had to share that with Andy
So-
when he left because that's an
So then,
operational
what
disaster.
happens next? Does
Right.
he just open the doors of the vans and like, all right, quarterbacks, come get your shoes. Receivers,
I'm
come
not
get
kidding
your
you. Like it was like he got there right on time. Like it was crazy. And like like the sliding door opened and set out the bags, and he's just standing there with his, his hands in his pockets, just like hey, go on,
I did this.
Get this, get this, get this. And
right.
he wasn't like directing the players what to
Like,
do.
what was the
but,
contingency plan? Like, Chuck Sowers' car breaks down, like, flat tire.
I mean, it was hope and a prayer.
The
I mean,
the answer is 461 miles.
I mean-
he drove 7 hours and 12 minutes
And,
with
like,
the shoes.
I think I had a cell phone. I was like one of the last people to ever get a cell phone.
No,
I
Dave
think I had a
Jones
cell
was the last
phone.
person to get a cell phone.
But no, it was like constant contact. Like, hey, where's your dad? Where's your dad? I was like, he's on his way. He's all right. He's all right. He's doing.
He's
okay.
in Davenport. He'll be here.
That was an all timer.
That story is amazing.
Yeah.
Did he get like season tickets for life? I would hope so. At least a T-shirt or something.
Yeah. I mean. I mean, he went to school there too and stuff. So no, it was fun though. But that's a. Yeah, that's why you have directors of operations.
Yeah.
To make sure that situation doesn't.
Now
really
at the
happen.
SEC level, if that happens, you probably call a donor.
Yes.
And then you go and you
And they
have all
fly
the
you, yeah.
fly one equipment guy back.
Yeah.
This was the early aughts, man.
And they fill up the donor plane with all the shoes. Or they just call Nike.
That also that.
Can you overnight 200 shoes
Well, so look at
I
like,
bet they
to
could,
Starkville?
like I had this as something. I just added this as something to talk about. So we just hosted the cross country NCAA
We sure did.
championships.
Record
and
crowd.
And Texas A&M's
Yeah.
women's team. Their bags
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
make it in time for them
yeah.
to practice. They didn't
That
have
was
any
really
of their
cool.
gear, didn't have any of their shoes, nothing. And the equipment department
Yeah.
sent them all practice gear and shoes and
Yeah.
things that they needed to practice with.
Yeah, Coach Halter went to their hotel and
I know,
dropped it
like,
all
they
off.
rolled up in his truck just like your dad
Yeah.
in a minivan.
No.
Just starts hauling out bags of gear. That was so cool.
And they did, all those athletes really pubbed it up, and like I saw a lot of that just organically on like TikTok and like Instagram and stuff too. Like they were so appreciative. That
Yeah.
was really cool. That was a cool moment.
That
But
was
yes,
a-
amazing event.
It was. It was
I
really cool.
I was not here. I was in Savannah with
That's
the
right.
volleyball team. But I was sent pictures from all like alumni, my
Yeah.
coworkers that were there, and just how cool it was. The letter winners showed up. Like they were all wearing their jackets because it was a little chillier here than it was in Savannah.
chilly. Yeah, it was fun to watch. It was just because I went out there and took Connor, our son, who's a cross country runner. He was like, he thought it was really, really cool to see like the best runners in the world. At that
Looking
at that
those,
age.
and looking
Yeah,
at
it was
those
really cool.
times, I'm like, I don't even think I could run 1 mile in that, guys. I have slowed down considerably.
I'll tell you what, the finish line of a cross country meet at that level, though, it was violent. Like they are just spent. They are physically exhausted when they hit that, and it is. Our training staff was all there out there helping these kids up, except for the winners. The winners are just like barely even breathing hard.
Right.
They're just walking around like, I could do another 5 miles.
But that's a volunteer position at cross country meets like that is, I don't know what they're actually called, but like a body dragger.
Yeah.
Like it's like that when they cross the finish line, they collapse, is pulling them away from the
So,
finish
okay.
line so that other people can
Yeah.
do the same thing.
Yeah. It was kind of gruesome,
Brutal.
but man, it was really cool to see the athletes at the highest level compete like that. Yeah.
I saw that there was pyrotechnics.
Oh yeah, we had pyro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
There was one runner from the men's race, Oklahoma State. So they end up winning.
Yes.
And I think it was their 6th runner, so he wouldn't have contributed points necessarily to winning or costing the championship. He collapsed. I'm not kidding. Like 5 feet from the finish line,
Oh no.
and a few people passed him, but he crawled to the finish line. And like, I was like so impressed. But could you imagine if that like cost them
Yes.
points enough to not win? But,
Well, I'm glad
but
it
luckily
didn't. I
their
don't
team
want
was
that
so
holding, like
good.
over
Oh
that
my
kid's
gosh.
head the rest of his
Oh,
life.
but then he got through the finish line though, and he stood up, walked around, he was fine. But man, like just imagine like just spending every fiber of your body to do that and then to collapse
You
like
see
that.
those videos of people in marathons and stuff that just like can't, like they physically cannot move their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I've never pushed myself that far, so I don't know what that feels like.
I had two.
I don't intend to.
No.
I had 2 cookies at the
Not on
holiday
my bucket
party.
list.
I had 2 cookies at the holiday party last night, and I was spent.
You were
that
really
was
excited about that first one, though.
They were big cookies. Yeah, they were really good. They were really good. Yeah.
I don't know
never
if I
seen
saw
somebody-
the cookies. I don't know.
You missed them?
I don't think I saw the
Well, I
cookies.
didn't
I was
realize
only
that-
there for a quick second.
I didn't realize that there were two sides of like food, like two
Oh,
different
yeah?
lines, and so I had gone to the one. I was like, oh, okay, it's like snacks, like fruit and veggies, like
Oh,
the
you missed the
crudité
meatballs.
cheese. I did, and so like I'm like, chowing down on all my munchies, and then here comes Dave with like a plate of meatballs and a cookie, and I'm like, wait, I didn't. Where was that? But I'm already full on all those like little munchies.
Oh, you got to pay attention. Get your head on a swivel at the Linder holiday party. Yeah, it is holiday party season.
Yeah,
It's upon us.
Yes,
Brewster Steve had 2 last night.
yeah, same
We
night.
are grateful that he's here with us today.
We're professionals here.
Of course, of course.
We-
I had 1. You had 1. I think we have another one tonight.
Yep. Yeah, we got another one tonight, and then you have an event tomorrow as well.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not really a holiday thing. It's more of a civic.
I feel like
engagement.
anything planned in December is essentially a holiday. Like it's like, a holiday trivia night,
Yeah.
a holiday open house.
Yeah.
Like,
Is the MAF staff doing any holiday get-togethers besides the Mizzou Athletics holiday party, which is coming up?
Not that I know of yet. Usually we just plan like a lunch of some sort. So I'm sure we'll have that on the books. Nothing's on the books yet.
Our creative staff's doing a holiday dinner next week, and then
The potluck one that you guys usually do?
no. This
Oh.
is just we're going out to a restaurant, have a nice dinner.
Fun.
And then
You're the best boss.
the Stratcom staff. Well, I'm not paying for everybody. the Stratcom staff is having a nice dinner downtown the following week.
Okay.
Plus one's invited. We're gonna see.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Cool.
Oh, man, I hope Nurse Molly's got enough fits for all those parties.
It's a lot. There's a lot of parties.
Tis
Yes.
the season.
Mhm.
Yeah. I tried to dress up for we had our Mizzou Sports Properties thing last night, and I looked in my closet. I was like, I gotta look a little nice. I'm to the point. I don't have anything nice that doesn't have a tiger logo on it.
It's hard, man.
Same.
It's hard.
Everything
It's like,
I
all
own
right,
is
I'm
black
just
and
wearing what I
gold.
wear to work every day.
I have a red sweater, and it fits me nice. So I was gonna wear it, but my wife wore red last night. We would have looked
She
ridiculous.
looks very nice.
Yeah.
Where's your cardigan?
It's behind the scenes. So it's over there. So I wore it today though. Former Mizzou Storytellers guest Josh Moore is just dumbfounded that I have cardigan sweaters. It somehow came up in a meeting
You
yesterday,
and
so
Mr. Rogers.
I am going to wear. I wore one today to show him that I do in fact have one. I think he thinks it's like Mr. Rogers.
Can you wear? I really wish you would have brought your like leather elbow patch jacket to work, and then like when you get into the office, like go into Josh's office and like take that off, and then like grab your cardigan.
It's a
and
lot
put
of
your
layers.
cardigan on.
Plus the satchel with the cotton ball ring in it too. So
The amount of time.
We should have asked Andy how many bull rings he has. He could have
Oh my
worn
god!
some in.
I think I saw he's been in, to like 9. He's been involved in like 9 or 10 like major bowl wins.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the amount of times that he referenced like how involved you were with the Cotton Bowl, like validating everything
I
that
think
we
he was
had
giving
to
me
say.
a little too much credit there.
He's like, and all the things you did for the Cotton Bowl.
I did. I had to organize the buses for the guests, including
And
our
there was-
curators and several congressmen and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think almost every staff member except me was on those buses. So
Yeah. Well, there are multiple. I had Congress, I had lawmakers and curators, and I think my job was to make sure they all got on the bus after the game.
oh yeah, because that was kind of a cluster.
And I think probably 75% did. So that's pretty good, right?
yeah,
As Eric Morrison said, that gets you in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, that's a success
Baseball.
rate. Yeah,
those are good numbers.
Yeah, we lost a few, and they found their way. I'm sure.
yeah.
Can't win them all.
Yeah, win them all. I got the senator on the U.S. senator. I personally walked with him to make sure he got on the bus.
Did you hold his hand?
I did not. Senator Schmidt does not need me to hold his hand, but I made sure he got on. Yeah.
This is super random. So, as we know, Dave and I live in the same neighborhood, and
We know which neighborhood, too.
right? And so we
Visit YouTube to find the addresses.
So we were carpooling to the party last night because Dave Jones was going to meet me at the party. And Nurse Molly and I were hanging out in the living room. And guess what was on their coffee table? Not the cotton bowl ring.
Forgot about this.
Was it a signed copy of Dave's book that he signed himself or
No.
something? I don't know.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. But you're very close.
No.
It was a book about Peyton Manning.
It is. full disclosure.
It's like the only thing on their coffee table was this Peyton Manning.
Can I tell the story? It is
This is Storyteller.
my mother-in-law gave it to me for Christmas a few years ago, not knowing that it was not really like for adults. It was more like
kid's book.
it's a kid's book, but not like little kids. It's like preteen maybe.
Yeah, it's like
Young adults.
like a middle school.
Yeah.
A lot of
reader, yeah.
pictures. and
So
stuff, yeah.
it was under my bed. Our 9-year-old sleeps on our floor many nights
All
a
right, It
week,
gets better. Okay.
and he found it, and he's been reading it.
That's fantastic. That's
But it was just sitting there, and I said, Molly, I saw it and immediately laughed. I was like, oh my gosh, this is Dave's, right? This has got to be Dave's. She's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's No, I think it is Dave's. I said, oh, this is amazing. I cannot wait to share this tomorrow.
That's good. Hey.
Yeah, well, it was like pre-Broncos though. It was like mid-Colts era, so it's not doesn't have the whole Peyton story. Yeah.
Are you working on the sequel?
No, I don't need to do that. Not at all.
Well,
Well,
fan the way you want to fan, man. That's
yeah,
great.
Right?
that's about me. Okay. I have to get going soon, so I don't know how much longer we can have this.
But I need to know. I just found out that you saw Les Mis.
I did. Yes.
I've seen the movie.
We
but
saw
I've
it at
never
the
seen
Fox Thanksgiving weekend.
Ooh.
Molly's a big fan.
Okay.
She's of the 5 of us in the family, probably the one that's most into Broadway musicals, and
That is
and
not
by
shocking
a,
at
by
all.
a large margin.
Yeah.
But our older boys went,
Yeah.
dressed nicely,
Aw.
and we had a good time. It was good. They were a little confused because like it's kind of hard, like when there's no subtitles when you're seeing a live musical.
Yes.
And but they caught on, and by the next day I caught them listening to the soundtrack.
It's a phenomenal soundtrack.
It was good.
That's cool.
It was
love
really
that.
good. Yeah. So I'd suggest anybody go see it. If I think I posted on social media we were seeing one of the better musicals about the French Revolution. top half.
Top half.
Yeah.
Got
It was
it.
pretty good.
Speaking of seeing something, isn't there something coming to town? Isn't there something coming to Mizzou Arena here soon?
Absolutely.
Besides, I mean, obviously hoops, but
Did you know that comedian Nate Bargatze is coming to Mizzou Arena on February 21st for his Big Dumb Eyes World Tour? You can purchase your tickets now on Ticketmaster.com. Be like myself and Loretta.
I have
and
my
purchase your
tickets.
tickets to see Nate Bargatze. I'm excited.
I'll be there.
You know how I ordered them?
How'd you order those?
On my Socket Fiber internet.
Oh,
Yeah. Socket Fiber is now available. The fastest, most reliable internet combined with local service and simple billing. Contact Socket today for voice, data, and internet services for your home and business. 1-800-SOCKET3 or visit socket.net.
I'm quite excited about that show. I'm a big Nate Bargatze fan.
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I saw
And
him when he came to. He actually performed at Jesse Hall a few years ago, so I actually saw him kind of right as he was like taking off and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
So it'd
And-
be cool to see.
I love when you get in like on the ground level with somebody. Yeah.
My cousin Becky, she's my age. Grew up with her, and she lived in Chicago for a long time. She works in the kind of advertising world, and she did Second City when she was in her 30s probably, and she wanted to be a comedian, so she took the classes. One of her classmates, a very unknown comedian from Tennessee, Nate Bargatze.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So I don't think they keep in touch.
You can always try.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty cool.
All right, we got to get you to your meeting.
Yep, we do. Why don't you say what we say at the end then?
Oh,
Because
because our best Mizzou memories have yet to happen. Is that right?
Yes. And then I say, I'm Dave Matter.
I'm Loretta Jones.
We'll talk to you next week.